Hi Shell Point, I'm Dottie Tronis, Volunteer Coordinator, and today I'm joined by two wonderful ladies that I've gotten to know over the last 2 years, Jane Haynes and Ann Erickson. They are from the Larson Pavilion Auxiliary.
Yes, we are.
And Jane, when I came here to Shell Point, you were the president.
Yes, I served for 4 years as president. Wonderful experience.
Yes. So,
and I was so glad you were here.
Oh.
We moved here in 2008.
Did you get involved with the auxiliary right away?
Right away.
Okay.
George was involved in a Bible study, and so when we were married, he took me to the Bible study to meet all these people. And Jane Hoden was a member of our Bible study. She was a volunteer at the pavilion, and I was telling her about my mother was in a nursing home in southern Indiana, and that I would go down and would feed her. I would stay with my brother a week at a time, and I could feed Mother both lunch and the evening meal. I had the time. Staff didn't have the time for her to decide when she was going to eat or not eat. So I did that, and when Jane heard that, she said, aha, I have a job for you. And so she introduced me to the auxiliary. And it has not been a regretful idea at all.
Nice.
I just think it's wonderful. When you see these dear people that really, they can't see the outside world necessarily. They don't get out that much, even though we've tried to get them out, but it's been such a hot summer. And it's just refreshing to me to be able to maybe touch somebody, to hold their hand and feed them.
And they have such wonderful histories and lives themselves.
Yes.
And if they share some of that with you, yeah.
Some do. Many are not as verbal.
Right.
My mother was not verbal at the end either, so you kind of understand that.
Anything that stands out to you that you would tell somebody that's maybe thinking about becoming a volunteer and they haven't had the experience that you had with your mother? Maybe they have only been in a place like the Auxiliary Pavilion to visit
somebody
quickly.
Right. I think the thing that comes to my mind, do you want to be involved in something that has lifelong value? And that's me. When I was president, my motto was having a servant heart. And I think that's very important, that you possess a servant heart as you want to serve with other people.
So you had a vice president.
I did.
Who is now the president.
Yes.
And you're halfway through your tenure.
I used to live on the East Coast, and I volunteered at the hospital over there in Stuart, Florida. And when I came over here, I thought, well, you know, I'll do a hospital or something, and then the auxiliary. So I started in the auxiliary with, well, I guess to be when they started a concierge service, when Jerry started a concierge service. And I did that, but then I also worked at the hospital here because I wanted to be moving all the time.
Sure,
and the concierge service was a shorter period of, your hours were like 3 hours, I think, or something like that. And I could get 4 at the other hospital and be moving all the time.
Sure. So what stands out to you of your experience so far as president now?
It's when you have friends that are in the hospital or in rehab or just people in general. I can go down the hall, and right now I have stepped back from doing sorting the mail, and sometimes I might there's something that if somebody I knew I'd go visit. But I was walking down the hall one day, and this woman seemed to be having trouble in her wheelchair, and I said, "Do you need some help?" She goes, "Oh yes." It turns out it was somebody that I think I called her the catalog queen because she always would have 4 or 5 catalogs, and she has since passed away, which was too bad.
Oh.
But she was just, the nicest lady, and go in somebody's room and talk to them.
Right. But we do have jobs at the pavilion too that like you mentioned, we have folks that help
Oh,
the
they-
mail get, we have
mail.
folks that work at the reception desk. So
Very
every
different.
job doesn't have to be
No.
direct contact with residents if someone's not quite comfortable
Yeah,
with that.
I know Barbara Marucci and her husband were head of feeding at the time, and she said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "Barbara, I said I just don't think I
Right.
could do that." And she said, "Well, you don't have to. Just come and join the auxiliary."
Right.
So I did, and
And the rest is history.
well, the rest is history. And I know that Jane had served 4 years, and that is a long term. And I said, "Okay, I'll do it for 1 year."
Right. Well, you're going to usher us into a new era.
Totally.
And
Totally.
new things coming down the pike, which we won't talk about today. But
But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really
it's great.
interesting.
It's great working with you. It's been great. It was great working with
I
Jane. It's great working
so
with you.
enjoy working with her.
Well, thank
I
you.
enjoyed working with you, but I so enjoy working with her too because
Well, we do have a good time. So we want to say to the residents out there, if you're thinking of a volunteer opportunity, we would love to have you join the Larson Pavilion, the auxiliary, the folks, and you can touch their lives, you can make a difference to people, and it's truly a unique place here at Shell Point. So we'd love to have you join us.